came back that uterine adhesion that was removed a year ago was still there. Uterine adhesion does not stop anyone from conceiving, in as much as there is a space for implantation. Welcome back again to Cardi and Daniel Space, and if you are seeing my beautiful face for the first time, my name is Calista Daniels, and I'm a lab scientist, a physiologist that is based in Ondo State, Nigeria. Yeah, and this video is going to be very short because I just want to address some questions that I have been receiving on my TikTok page based on my video on uterine adhesion. Yeah. So yes, for some that may not know, I was diagnosed back then with uterine adhesion after my first miscarriage, and so I'm here to address that because I've been having a lot of questions on my, I don't know if you can see, on my TikTok page. I don't know if you can see it. I don't know if you can see it anyway. So I've been having a lot of questions, so I'm here to address it. Yeah, I know majority of persons out there might not know what is uterine adhesion, but I know that 80% or 90% of women who are TTC trying to conceive knows what is uterine adhesion. Yeah. So let me just explain what it is. I'm not going to go into any medical listing. Uterine adhesion, before I go into this, if you haven't subscribed to this channel, please make sure to subscribe, like my video, share and leave comments, engage in my video so that YouTube can help spread my video. And it's not going to cost anything to subscribe. Please subscribe to my video and follow my YouTube pages, follow my Facebook page, my TikTok page, and God will bless you. So back to today's story. Yeah. So I first had a major surgery in 2018. Yeah, I had a major surgery in 2018. Then in 2020, that is, I don't know how many years after, I conceived after when I got married. Boom, 7 weeks or 6 weeks there, but I had a miscarriage. And we never thought of anything. I just probably I was stressed or just something like that. We never thought of anything until I started trying till 2022, around February or January, when I went to see my doctor. Even though I was he kept giving me assurance that all was well, that I don't have any issue. But I was like, of course, I know I don't have issue, but what is the problem? 2 years after, and it keeps happening. Even before, I kept having missed or delayed period, that you have the symptoms of pregnancy. Period do not come when it's supposed to come. 4 days, 3 days, 5 days after period will show, and it kept on happening a lot. But when I complained to my doctor, because I was still schooling, he would be like, focus on your school, probably the stress of school is affecting you. So fast forward to 2022 when I rounded up and I was now ready for the big thing. So nothing happened, so I had to go back. He now gave me 6 weeks, 6 months from when I saw him in 2021 to come back in January or February if nothing happens, and nothing still happened. So that February 2022, I went back and I saw him, and he now requested we should do, myself and my husband, to do some lab tests. And we did every lab test, everything was fine. Nobody have issue. He now requested, okay, what is the problem? He now requested for HSG. We know that HSG is to check the uterus, the fallopian tube, the ovaries, if they are all working. And the result came out, everything was fine. My fallopian tubes were not blocked, they were patent, my ovaries are functioning, I was ovulating, everything was okay. But then, and I got the shock of my life: uterine adhesion and fistula. I know some people don't know what is fistula. Fistula is like kind of leakage from the VJ. Yeah. When I saw that one, I wasn't worried about the uterine adhesion, but I was not worried about the fistula. Fistula, if I have fistula, I should be smelling, I should be leaking. But for these 2 years, I've never had issue with that. My period comes when it's supposed to come. Nothing, no issue, but like that will now prompt me to say, okay, something is wrong. But even in that 2 years, I was visiting the hospital constantly, going for checkup to see my doctor on folic acid and everything I'm supposed to do. So why fistula? So the way my doctor saw that, it was like it's the same issue I had. He was not concerned with uterine adhesion. He now became concerned with the fistula because I've never complained of anything. So because of that fistula, we had to do. They now requested I'm going to go for hysteroscopy to check if there's actually a fistula, because that is the only way for me to confirm if there's a fistula and the adhesion. So, but we now agree that if there is adhesion, if we now confirm that there's adhesion, then we have to use the same one that is using one stone to kill two birds. While checking for fistula, we will now do the listing for the adhesion to remove the scar, because hysteroscopy is a non-invasive procedure whereby and it's I don't know something. The machine is connected to a monitor, a screen, and they will use something like probe to pass through the VG to the uterus to check the lining of the womb and everything. So that was basically our plan, to check the lining of the womb and everything. Then if there's uterine adhesion, we will not remove it, because that is what HS issue. So by what we now booked for the procedure, and they discovered that I was not having uterine, I was not having fistula, but there was adhesion which was not removed. The adhesion was removed around February or March 2022, and everything was fine. But I now had a mistake. I didn't know I was supposed to wait for 6 months before trying again. But I think I had the uterine the hysteroscopy 1 month after or 2 months after I conceived, and still had another miscarriage at 13 weeks. Which, when I got, doctor was like, it's not something I should have waited, because the womb was trying to heal. So he now gave me 6 months. Well, like I shouldn't try anything again. 6 months before I start again. After 6 months, I tried again. Nothing happened, and I requested again by myself for another HSG to now know what the problem is. By the time I went for the second HSG, it still came back that uterine adhesion that was removed a year ago was still there. And by the time I saw the level, the consultants, the residents, or the senior, currently she's a senior right now, the consultants who did the HSG were like, I shouldn't panic, I shouldn't worry, that the uterine adhesion will not stop me from conceiving, that it doesn't stop anyone from conceiving, in as much as there is a space for implantation to take place once there's fertilization. That in as much as there is a place for implantation to occur, that as baby is growing, the womb will expand by itself. But being me that I am, they will not understand my situation. I went back to my doctor, and my doctor said the same thing. I said, well, like, Alista, I cannot subject you to the process of hysteroscopy, because the hysteroscopy is very painful, very, very painful, like hell. If you have done HSG, some people don't feel pain. HSG, I felt pain, but it was not bad. For evacuation, you know what it feels like. Evacuation is painful. Hysteroscopy is like times 3 of that pain, like somebody who is in labor, just painful. It was hell. I saw hell. Even though I was placed on analgesics, they know what they did. But I was, even inside my deep sleep, I was feeling pain. So it was like, at least I will not subject you to that pain of going for another hysteroscopy. But what is the assurance that even if you do it, it will not come back again? But I will give you my word as a doctor and as a consultant in obstetrics and gynecology, with the result and everything I'm seeing, it's not going to stop you from conceiving. Yeah. So I did not go. So because of that, he was certain and he was sure that I was going to conceive, because there was space for implantation to take place. But that is what I need. Once there's a space, because the full uterus is not covered. So when you have issues, when maybe probably the adhesion is the full uterus is come together. So even when there's fertilization, there will be no implantation, because nobody have for the eggs to implant. But in my own case, there was space. I still had, I think sorry guys, my baby is at my park. So as I was saying, so in my own case, there was enough room for implantation to take place. So I did not go for another hysteroscopy, which was advised. So for those of you that are asking me that if somebody says she has done one, she has done two, it came back, the truth is that it will come back. all I pray is that for me, that's that let me make this video and address it. I didn't do I only did it once and it came back again, which I did not do. And I conceived with it for my miracle baby, and I carried the pregnancy to 10 and had my elective C-section. So I didn't do anything, nothing fancy, nothing special. I only trusted in God because that was all I had to do. But my doctor gave me 6 months, like, okay, from the day of HSG, if I don't conceive after 6 months, then I will not be placed on hormonal drugs to increase ovulation, even I was ovulating, which we were hoping. But before then, but like, we now contain something that HSG S3 has a way of increasing the chances of conception. So it says that once you do HSG and everything is fine, it has a way of increasing your chances of conception, because for those who have done it, know that there's a fluid that is being injected into the ovary, the fallopian tube, through the womb or through your vagina. So the process of them forcing that fluid into those, if there's anything blockage, it can help open everywhere up and increase the chances of conception. So that is what happened in my own case. After the second HSG, I did second HSG in February, and in March was my last period last year, and in February, April, first week of April, even March ending, even before my next period will start, before the next period should start, I've already discovered I was pregnant. So I didn't do anything after the first hysteroscopy, and I still want to state it here that uterine adhesion does not stop. Yes, it can cause infertility, it can cause miscarriage when probably the fertilized egg implants on it or implants in it. But if by God's grace and your chances increase that the fertilized egg implants on this better side, or the side that doesn't have the adhesion, the chances of retaining the pregnancy is high.